Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up in our news tonight, the vaccine rollout moves to 8 Mile Rock. A cabinet minister predicts the next election will be decided on leadership. A 2-year-old boy needs your help getting corrective eye surgery. Plus, the Cancer Society brings back the good old days, how you can join the fun. Welcome to our News Weekend Edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Georgie O'Bain, topping news tonight. Well, residents of 8 Mile Rock are the latest to have vaccines available in their communities in Grand Bahama. Those eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine lined up under a tent at the 8 Mile Rock Clinic awaiting their turn to take the jab. Many persons pre-registered, so the process at the clinic was smooth. Many persons saying they decided to take the vaccine not for themselves, but for the safety of their family and friends.
Because of all the talk about protecting yourself against the virus, I think it was necessary that I do. It's the only way that I see to prevent it is to have the vaccine.
Viola Evans says she's not concerned about the noise in the market surrounding the vaccine.
I think it's the safest thing at the moment to help to prevent the virus itself. I disregard all that foolishness.
Wilson Miller says the vaccine is what Grand Bahama needs for the economy to begin to recover.
Need to do something, sir. Yes, sir. We need to do something. Yes, sir. Yeah. Freeport, Freeport was a good old place, Yeah, they'll come back though.
According to family medicine specialist Dr. Janice Edwards-Rollins, some 200 persons turned out on the first day to take their first jab.
I really respect the residents of Grand Bahama. They've taken it upon themselves. They are aware of their civic responsibility, and it is important to them to protect themselves, their loved ones, and our community from this virus, and so they are taking the vaccine, and we're extremely happy with the response.
The community health service specialist says it's important to discuss all the possible side effects and to assure residents that health professionals will be there for them every step of the way.
We want everyone to be aware that having these mild symptoms is just a normal response as their body learns to fight the real virus should they be exposed to it.
Community Administrator and Senior Nursing Officer Sonia Nesbitt said the plan is to move from community to community to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to receive the vaccine.
Today's exercise should have been for persons in the 8 Mile Rock and West End. However, we do have some persons with various ages and various addresses, so we are accommodating everybody that is here so far. No, we won't be coming back to this area. Last week we were in the western area, so today we are actually at 8 Mile Rock, and so our intention is to go into the Hawksbill area, so we would be going area to area.
Amid calls for the Prime Minister to set a date for the next general election, the Minister of Health is predicting that the next election will be decided on leadership and how the pandemic was handled. Our Christina Dragovich tells us more.
Campaigning in a COVID environment looks a little different. Elbow bumps replace handshakes, virtual events stand in the place of some face-to-face gatherings. But the Bambootown Member of Parliament, Renward Wells, says he believes the election will ride on the topic of leadership.
And this administration, from Minister Sands, the Prime Minister, myself, and my cabinet colleagues, we have shown that we are capable, more than capable, to lead the Bahamian people in challenging circumstances to achieve the means and ends that we desire as a government and as a people.
In a recent interview with Our News, Wells quoted the late Pastor Miles Monroe, saying everything rises and falls on leadership. And whenever an election is called, he expects that will be top of mind for many voters.
I believe that this election, that there's been no more stark contrast in choice. Here's another C word. In choice.
The Minnis-led administration has come under fire from critics during the first year of the pandemic with the introduction of emergency orders, lockdowns, and restrictions on businesses and travel. Wells says he believes the Minnis administration has proved itself.
They could look at what has taken place, and then they could say, I know what I have, I know what is there, Elections are about choices.
The Free National Movement, Progressive Liberal Party, and Democratic National Alliance have nearly completed ratifying candidates for the next general election. The date, however, is still up in the air. Reporting for our news, I'm Christina Dragovich.
Well, the Bahamas is still on track to get another shipment of the COVID-19 vaccine from the World Health Organization's COVAX facility, according to Pan American Health Organization and WHO representative to the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, Dr. Eldona Bassan.
We have been in communication with the manufacturers, and the date that they have given to us is May 2021 to get the balance of these doses. Of course, you know that there's a global demand, and so we're in contact with them on a consistent basis, but so far we're still on schedule for May.
To date, the Bahamas has received 53,600 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, with another 67,200 doses from the COVAX facility due in the country next month. The global rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine has been plagued with delays and shortages due to the high demand. While some wealthier countries have been able to purchase enough doses of COVID-19 vaccines to inoculate their entire population, poorer countries have been struggling to secure doses. Many are relying on the COVAX facility.
We can have bulk buying whereby all these small countries, and some of the larger ones as well, we have some very large countries in South America who have bought into COVAX. And so as a collective, the monies go pooled together, and we can therefore negotiate in bulk to get the best possible price.
Minister of Health Renwood Wells said that the government is seeking to secure more doses through a variety of avenues. As it stands, the total number of doses expected in the Bahamas in the coming months is enough to fully vaccinate roughly 60,000 people, less than 1/5 of the country's population. Well, more tourism workers need to be vaccinated, according to the Bahamas Hotel Association President Robert Sands. He says though hospitality workers were bumped up in the priority list, he expected more workers to take advantage of it by now.
We are encouraged by the numbers of persons in the last 2 or 3 days that have been coming out. While it is still not as robust turnouts as we would like, it is encouraging to see that many associates throughout the industry are making themselves available to take the vaccine.
Sands says as tourism is the country's #1 industry, it's important that many industry professionals see the importance in getting vaccinated and pushing the country closer to herd immunity.
It is so important that as many hospitality workers take advantage of being vaccinated at this point in time. A safe environment would help to generate more demand and support for getting the industry back to the levels it was pre-COVID.
Well, still to come on our News Weekend, a mother's fight to get her son life-changing surgery. Plus, the BNT raises concerns about the Kong population. The details after this.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
You're watching our News. Welcome back. A 2-year-old boy who was born with a fungal eye defect is now in need of corneal transplant surgery by August. His mother is hoping the kindness of others will help to get the toddler the help that he needs. Nadia Brown said shortly after her son Natario was born, she noticed that one of his eyes was producing a mucus-like substance. She was advised to clean the eye regularly, which she did. But when the problem continued, Brown said she sought a second opinion.
We just noticed that the eye just keeps shutting down. We took him to the hospital. They said everything was okay. We took him to private, and they recommend an eye drop for his eye. After we started to use the eye drop, we noticed that it didn't look like coal in his eyes. I took him to the clinic. The clinic recommended us to carry him to the eye care center. And that's when we noticed, when they did the test, that he had fungus in his right eye. And where they bothered with his eye so much, his eye is crossed in that eye.
The mother of 4 boys says she never experienced anything like this with her other 3 sons, and all she wants is to give Natario a chance at a normal life.
He was admitted in the hospital almost 2 months. We found out that he needed surgery on his right eye or he'll go blind. Now he has a permanent scar in that right eye, but he have to do surgery on. So it's very, very difficult dealing with that.
While this challenge hasn't slowed down the active toddler, his mother says simple activities such as watching television or running around and playing with his brothers can put a strain on the eye or lead to frequent accidents.
He's very smart. He's active, very active. You ask him a question, he'll answer you. He's very active. I just hope everything goes well with him. Deal with it, because it's very difficult, because it's a strain on the next eye, dealing with that.
The mother of 4 is in need of your help to raise funds needed for Natario's life-changing surgery. She was let go from her job at a local hotel during the pandemic, and with monthly doctor visits, finances are tight.
His surgery is for $25,000. Whatever we get, we'd really appreciate it.
Persons interested in assisting can visit Natario's medical GoFundMe page or contact Nadia Brown at 813-4805. One Family Island MP is urging the government to speed up the distribution of Crown land to his constituents, which he says is one of the best ways to empower Bahamians. Berthany McDermott has that.
North Eleuthera Member of Parliament Ricky Mackey says government needs to be more proactive in the distribution of Crown land to Family Islanders. His comments follow the passage of a resolution in Parliament making way for the Prospect Ridge land development. Mackey says while the government is seeking to reach all Bahamians, his concern is that Family Islanders are still being left out.
My concern now is that too often we're Nassau-centric. We need to feel that love on the Family Islands.
In December 2020, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis presented 24 Crown land grants to residents of Crossing Rocks as part of government's pledge to ensure displaced residents of that community destroyed by Hurricane Floyd receive title deeds. Under the Crown Land Initiative, some 140 grants were finalized for Bahamians on Inagua, Crooked Island, Mayaguana, Eleuthera, Exuma, New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco.
We need to see more of that. More proactive. I'm of the view that Crown land, which the government holds for the people of the Bahamas, should be accessible to all.
Mackey also slammed the process to acquire the land and asserted it is too extensive.
The process takes too long and it's too cumbersome and too burdensome. And to me, it is the quickest and best way to empower our people. If we give them land and assist them in building, then we make our country a better country.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
The declining conch population continues to be a major concern for the Bahamas National Trust, according to BNT President Jeff Andrews, who addressed the issue at a recent news conference.
My biggest concern is the declining conch population, and I know that the government is taking a very serious look at it, but we at the BNT have been working on conservation for quite some time, and we would like to see us do more to protect the conch population so that my grandchildren will be able to enjoy conch one day.
In 2019, research concluded that the Bahamas could lose its population of queen conch within the next 2 decades if conservation measures aren't taken. It prompted environmentalists to call for a ban on conch exports and a closed season of conch harvesting. Government has also considered the concept of implementing a conch season. In 2019, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Michael Pintard said the ministry will continue to push measures to conserve conch stock, including potentially restricting the harvesting of conch by visitors to the Bahamas. Andrews says BNT plans to continue detailed research of the issue.
We had a very good study going on, but unfortunately between actually Hurricane Dorian and then the pandemic, we had to put some of that on hold. But we are continuing to discuss with the government, and we certainly are always available to talk to them about our thoughts on how best to preserve the conch population. A lot of people talk about banning export of conchs. I personally think that that's a good idea. Let the Bahamians enjoy conch, and if people really want Bahamian conch from outside of the Bahamas, let them come here to enjoy it.
Well, when our news comes back from the break, the Cancer Society is bringing back the good old days. Plus, our Marcellus Hall has your Sunday sports special. So stay with us.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
You're watching our news. Thanks for staying with us. Under the theme Bringing Back the Good Old Days, the Cancer Society of the Bahamas will host its annual ball virtually this year. Fundraising was adversely impacted by the recent hurricane and the COVID-19 pandemic, forcing the Cancer Society to think outside the box.
This year, we decided that, of course, let's think out of the box, let's get virtual ball going, because you are going to still feel the full ball experience. May 29th, save the date, May 29, 2021, we will be live on Zoom on the grounds of the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. Our annual theme is the Vintage Virtual Ball, the Good Old Days. This year, focus again on awareness of all cancer.
The Cancer Society raises funds to help maintain its cancer care center, testing, and support groups.
Tickets are available for $175 for a worthy cause. Sponsorship packages and booklets ads are available for purchase, as we will accept all cash donation, and our website will be available for you to purchase the tickets in the upcoming week. You can email us at cancersocietyball@gmail.com.
Those planning on attending the virtual ball are even encouraged to dress up in their best ball attire.
You will still be able to experience a silent auction, be able to purchase raffle tickets and door prizes, and you will get, of course, the surprises. Now, the restaurants who have partnered with us is Sapodilla and Wild Thyme, and they will provide the dinner for you. You will receive a vintage box, and the vintage box will host all the goodies that you would need for the actual ball experience on May 29th.
Those interested in donating or purchasing a ticket for the ball can visit www.cancersocietybahamas.org. Well, it's time for your Sunday sports special with our Marcellus Hall.
More than 350 persons participating in the University of the Bahamas' virtual UB Fit Fun Run Walk and Bike, Skate, Push, 5K, 10K race that happened over the weekend in a tangible display of support for wellness and the university. In its fourth year, but first in a virtual format, the UB Fit race attracted participants in Exuma, Andros, Long Island, New Providence, Grand Bahama, and internationally as the excitement spread. Each participant competed either a 5 or 10K race on their own, as a family, or in small groups, and submitted the results tracked in their apps in order to receive a finisher's medal. The event was held from April 9th through the 11th. Now, despite the pandemic, UB Fit co-chair and UB Executive Director, Corporate and Foundation Relations expert Candace Eldon talked about how things went despite the pandemic.
UB Fit started in 2017 as a fun run walk to build community. And so in a virtual capacity, we had to be a bit more creative in our approach, where participants can actually do their race, whether they walk, bike, skate, or push within their communities, be socially distant, or in their treadmills or in their neighborhood parks. And so the committee worked really hard to kind of connect with the running community, walking community in a way that works, where you did it on your own, and then at the end you came today, well, I don't want to date it, but you come and collect your medal at the end of it. We had great success. We planned for 200 based on COVID and other races, and we exceeded the 350 mark. So we're extremely grateful for Corporate Bahamas and the community for supporting You Be Fit yet again in a virtual capacity.
To date, more than $180,000 has been collectively raised from sponsorships, registrants, and generous in-kind donations. Funds raised from this year's You Be Fit will support the COVID-19 Technology Relief Fund, an annual fund to help provide late laptops, tablets, and other technology for students in need. Which is Sunday Sports Check. I'm Marcellus Hall.
Well, still to come on our news, we count down the most memorable quotes of the week. Stay with us.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
You're watching our news. Finally, in news tonight, it's that time to count down the most memorable quotes in news. Coming in at number 3 is Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis in the House of Assembly last week when he addressed the former administration's spending on a Goodman's Bay mansion.
$10 million was being invested in a house near Goodman's Bay called the Playa property. $10 million. And why? The purchase of a house so as to provide entertainment for the Prime Minister and whomever he wants there, other ministers. Already, the government has spent $7 million on such facility. I do not need such facility.
In at number 2 is Minister of Health Renwood Wells when asked about a possible third wave in the country.
We see a spike one day with about 40 cases, then we see it down in the teens, then we see it in the 20s, then we see it in the teens, and that might be due to a particular event, because you know this virus has a 14-day incubation cycle. So if you have a bunch of persons who get together in a particular locale and they're commiserating together, you know, and someone is positive and they would have spread it to these other individuals, you could expect that everyone exposed over those 14 days, those 10 days would end up showing up positive.
Now, this next video isn't exactly a quote, but it was definitely a highlight in news this week for the R News team. This hilarious moment of our Kyle Joaquin is priceless. That one is definitely one for the books. Thanks for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Georgie O'Bain. Have a great night. Stay safe, Bahamas.